Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Free Will.
Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. C'est payé. J'ai allumé le feu, mes chagrins, mes plaisirs. Je n'ai plus besoin de balayer les amours avec leur trémolo, balayer pour toujours. Je repars à zéro. Non, rien de rien. Je ne regrette rien, ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien, car ma vie, car mes jours, ça commence avec toi.
Welcome to Trinity.
Alrighty then.
I don't touch animals.
I know, and I'm really smart. I am really smart.
What do you eat?
I eat healthy food,
Like what?
like bean burritos.
What would you say if someone gave you some cow milk?
No, I don't like that.
Why?
Because I am vegan.
Who's cow milk for?
Baby cows.
What would you say if someone gave you some eggs?
No, I don't like it so much.
What about honey?
No.
Is it vegan to ride horses?
No.
Why?
Because that hurts the back.
Would you ever hurt an animal?
I wouldn't. Batman saves the life just like all the other superheroes do.
Is Batman vegan?
Uh-huh.
How do vegans save lives?
By being superheroes. We can't eat the animals.
No, why? Why can't we eat them, Beans?
Because that hurts them.
What about zoos? Are zoos vegan?
No.
Why not?
Because they put animals in cages.
How does it make you feel when people eat animals?
Not really sad.
It makes you really sad.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever see people eating animals?
Uh-huh. Sometimes they do.
Oh. How do you feel then?
I feel sad.
Do you ever tell anybody not to eat animals?
My teachers know about vegan, but they're not vegan. But I know all things. Making everybody eat vegan saves the whole planet.
It saves the whole planet?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Crazy man.
Welcome to my domain.
But I don't want to eat them ever again.
Oh, do you think, so what will you eat instead?
I will eat whatever there's on the table, but not chicken or meat.
Why do you think you don't want to do that?
Because they're animals and I like animals.
So what will we do if we miss eating chicken and meat?
I don't miss eating chicken and meat.
How about fish?
Fish?
Yeah.
Fish? Is it an animal?
Yeah.
I won't eat that either.
Oh my God, so what?
I won't eat animals!
Okay. So what do you want to eat? What kind of food do you want to eat?
Anything's on the table but not animals.
Why do you feel sorry for animals?
Because they're nice and I know that we cook them sometimes, which is not very nice, and I know we like to eat animals that we cook, but that's not nice for them.
Yeah, do you think they suffer?
I think that they don't really like being cooked in the oven.
Pay attention when I'm talking to you, boy.
I got to warn you. You're doomed to stay. Go. Go.
This day, we rescue a world from mysticism and tyranny, and usher in a future brighter than anything we can imagine.
Crazy man.
I need this place like I need a shotgun blast to the face!
Deep down, whether they are willing to admit it or not, just they want other people to like them. My hope is that this is just what it's like to be human. That everybody secretly just feels the same way as me. Just as anxious as I do about other people. And the thing that I'm scared of, honestly, I think it's you. I just haven't been the best version of myself recently. I'm not happy right now.
I'm coming up only to show you down for. And coming up only to show you wrong.
Man, you're the sickest. Sick, man. Sick. Daddy-o. Crazy, man. I dig you, Daddy-o. Daddy-o.
let's talk about fear. Fear is everywhere. There are two types of fears. There's real fear and there's fake fear. Now, real fear is when you're out on a nice sunny day at the beach. You're floating in the ocean and you end up going 50 feet out, more than you thought you were from the shore. And you see far away a little speck in the water, but it's getting closer and closer to you. And as it gets closer, you realize it's a fin. This isn't a fin of a dolphin, no. This is a shark, just like from the movie Jaws. And it's getting faster and faster, going straight towards you. And you realize that you don't have enough time to get back to the shore. Now that is real fear. Fake fear now is when you're feeling a little nervous to present something in front of a class, or you're feeling a little nervous to go on that date you have planned. Fake fear and real fear are two different things. Fear and real fear are two different things. Real fear is an emotion in us that's already built from day one. We're born with that emotion. Fake fear is simply fake. Fake fear is manufactured. It's contrived by you. And what that means is that you can stop at any time you want. If fear was a person and you let fear take over your life, you would be looking at the dirt, you would be looking at the ground, and fear would be looking right over your head, while you're too afraid to look fear straight in the eyes and face it. Fear would be right in control of you, manipulating you. And that's what fake fear does to you. It manipulates you and it controls you. But the great thing about fear is it goes vice versa. You also have control of fear. You create fear. You can destroy it as well. Fear is simply a roadblock in your way, a roadblock in your path. You can destroy that roadblock. And once you do, not only can you continue on your path, you will become better and stronger. So when you're feeling nervous to present that presentation of yours, or to go on that date that you have planned, or to say something in public that you're afraid to say because you're wondering what others are going to think of it, or when you feel nervous to approach somebody new or to speak to somebody new.
Hello? Hello? Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Every man dies. Not every man really lives.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Hello, Ruby.
Hi, Mom.
So, a lot of people ask me why my 6.5-year-old daughter has chosen to become a vegetarian. So I figured I would make a little video telling them why. Why don't you tell me?
Because, I just like animals so much, and it's really sad that animals have to die so people can eat and have food. So I decided to not eat animals and just eat vegetables, and vegetables are really healthy for you.
What other things can you eat instead of animals?
Peaches and apples and lots of fruit and vegetables.
Beans.
Beans.
Yeah. Now, is there anybody else in your family that's a vegetarian?
No.
Am I forcing you to be a vegetarian?
No.
Do people kind of laugh at you when you tell them that you're a vegetarian?
No.
That's good. What other Kitty, get down. Down at the table. We like them so much, we let them sit at the table when we eat our dinner. What other vegetarians are in your life? Who in your life is a vegetarian? Because it's not your family, so who?
My daddy.
No, Daddy's not a vegetarian, silly boy.
My best friend at school, Elliot. Tá bom?
Tá. Mas come seu nhoque de polvo.
Tá bom. Esse polvo não é de verdade, né?
Não.
Então tá. Ele nem fala e nem cabeça tem, né? Cadê a cabeça dele?
Não tem cabeça. Isso
Tá
aí
bom.
é só as perninhas do polvo picada.
E a cabeça dele tá no mar?
Tá lá na peixaria.
O monstro cortou assim?
Cortou.
O quê?
Pra gente poder comer, porque senão a gente ia ter que engolir inteiro.
Mas o quê?
É pra comer, amor. Igual corta o boi, corta a galinha.
A carinha? E quem come também?
Ninguém come a galinha?
É os animais.
É? Mas vamos comer o nhoque? Come a batata, então.
Só batata e só arroz.
Tá,
Nem o povo é os animais.
tá bom.
Todos esses são os animais. Peixe é os animais. Povo é os animais. Cães é os animais. Vaca é os animais. Porco é os animais. Então, outra vez comer os animais, eles morrem. Por quê?
Pra gente poder comer, meu amor.
Porque eles morrem. Não gosto porque eles morrem. Eu gosto que eles ficam em pé. É isso.
Então tá bom. Então a gente não vai comer mais não, tá bom?
Tá. Esses animais tem que cuidar deles, não comer.
Tá certo, meu filho. Então come a parte da batata e do arroz.
Tá bom. Por que você tá sonhando?
Não tô chorando, não. Eu tô emocionada com você.
Eu tô fazendo uma coisa indo.
Então come. Não precisa comer o polvo, não, tá?
You ready? Here we go.
Sometimes it appears that we're reaching a period when our senses and our minds will no longer respond to
moderate stimulation. We seem to be approaching an age of the gross. Persuasion through speeches and books is too often discarded for disruptive demonstrations aimed at bludgeoning the unconvinced into action. The young, and by this I don't mean by any stretch of the imagination all the young, but I'm talking about those who claim to speak for the young, at the zenith of physical power and sensitivity, overwhelm themselves with drugs and artificial stimulants. Subtlety is lost, and fine distinctions based on acute reasoning are carelessly ignored in a headlong jump to a predetermined conclusion. Life is visceral rather than intellectual, and the most visceral practitioners of life are those who characterize themselves as intellectuals. Truth is to them revealed rather than logically proved, and the principal infatuations of today revolve around the social sciences, those subjects which can accommodate any opinion and about which the most reckless conjecture cannot be discredited. Education is being redefined at the demand of the uneducated to suit the ideas of the uneducated. The student now goes to college to proclaim rather than to learn. The lessons of the past are ignored and obliterated in a contemporary antagonism known as the generation gap. A spirit of national masochism prevails, encouraged by an effete core of impudent snobs who characterize themselves as intellectuals.
There is an indefinable, mysterious power that pervades everything. I feel it, though I do not see it. It is this unseen power which makes itself felt and yet defies all proof, because it is so unlike all that I perceive through my senses. It transcends the senses, but it is possible to reason out the existence of God to a limited extent. Even in ordinary affairs, we know that people do not know who rules.
Is your mixtape going to be good enough? Perhaps it's time you added some
Spice of fear!
That people do not know who rules or why and how he rules. And yet they know that there is a power that certainly rules. In my tour last year in Mysore, I met many poor villagers, and I found upon inquiry that they did not know who ruled Mysore. They simply said, some god ruled it. If the knowledge of these poor people...
Hello, my name is...
This town ain't big enough for the two of us.
These poor people was so limited about their ruler. I, who am infinitely lesser in respect to God than they to their ruler, need not be surprised if I do not realize the presence of God, the King of Kings. Nevertheless, I do feel, as the poor villagers felt, about my soul, that there is orderliness in the universe. There is an unalterable law governing everything and every being that exists or lives. It is not a blind law, for no blind law can govern the conduct of living beings. And thanks to the marvelous researches of Sir J.C. Bose, it can now be proved that even matter is life. That law, then, which governs all life is God. Law and the lawgiver are one. I may not deny the law or the lawgiver because I know so little about it.
I would have been out here a little bit sooner, but they gave me the wrong dressing room, and I couldn't find any place to put my stuff. And I don't know how you are, but I need a place to put my stuff. So that's what I've been doing back there, just trying to find a place for my stuff. You know how important that is. That's the whole meaning of life, isn't it? Trying to find a place for your stuff. That's all your house is. Your house is just a place for your stuff. If you didn't have so much goddamn stuff, you wouldn't need a house. You could just walk around all the time. That's all your house is. It's a pile of stuff with a cover on it. You see that when you take off in an airplane and you look down and you see everybody's got a little pile of stuff. Everybody's got their own pile of stuff. And when you leave your stuff, you gotta lock it up. Wouldn't want somebody to come by and take some of your stuff. They always take the good stuff. They don't bother with that crap you're saving. Ain't nobody interested in your 4th grade arithmetic papers. They're looking for the good stuff. That's all your house is. It's a place to keep your stuff while you go out and get more stuff. Sometimes you've got to move. You got to get a bigger house. Why? Too much stuff. You've got to move all your stuff. And maybe put some of your stuff in storage. Now imagine that. There's a whole industry based on keeping an eye on your stuff. Enough about your stuff. Let's talk about other people's stuff. Did you ever notice when you go to somebody else's house, you never quite feel 100% at home? You know why? No room for your stuff. Somebody else's stuff is all over the place. And what awful stuff it is. Where did they get this stuff? And if you have to stay overnight at someone's house, you know, unexpectedly, and they give you a little room to sleep in that they don't use that often, someone died in it 11 years ago. or wherever they give you to sleep. Usually right near the bed there's a dresser, and there's never any room on the dresser for your stuff. Someone else's shit is on the dresser. Have you noticed that their stuff is shit and your shit is stuff? Now, sometimes you go on vacation, you gotta bring some of your stuff with you. You can't bring all your stuff, just the stuff you really like. The stuff that fits you well that month. Let's say you're gonna go to Honolulu. You're gonna go all the way to Honolulu. You gotta take 2 big bags of stuff, plus your carry-on stuff, plus the stuff in your pockets. You get all the way to Honolulu and you get in your hotel room and you start to put away your stuff. That's the first thing you do in a hotel room is put away your stuff. I'll put some stuff in here, put some stuff down there. Here's another place for stuff here. I'll put some stuff over there. You put your stuff over there. I'll put my stuff over here. Here's another place for the stuff. Hey, we got more places than we've got stuff. We're gonna have to buy more stuff. You put all your stuff away and you know that you're thousands of miles from home and you don't quite feel at ease, but you know that you must be okay because you do have some of your stuff with you. And you relax in Honolulu on that basis. That's when your friend from Maui calls and says, hey, why don't you come over to Maui for the weekend, spend a couple of nights over here? Oh, shit, no. Now what stuff do you bring? Right, you've got to bring an even smaller version of your stuff. Just enough stuff for a weekend on Maui. And you get over, and you're really spread out now. You've got shit all over the world. You've got stuff at home, stuff in storage, stuff in Honolulu, stuff in Maui, stuff in your pockets. Supply lines are getting longer and harder to maintain. But you get over to your friend's house in Maui and they give you a little place to sleep, and there's a little window ledge or some kind of a small shelf, and there's not much room on it, but it's okay because you don't have much stuff now. And you put what stuff you do have up there. You put your imported French toenail clippers, your odor readers with the 45-day guarantee, your cinnamon-flavored dental floss, and your Afrin 12-hour decongestant nasal spray. And even though you're a long way from home, you know that you must be okay because you do have your Afrin 12-hour decongestant nasal spray.
What one quality did you have that made you, that gave you, and allowed you, pushed you to achieve what you have?
Because you can think of nothing better, more exciting, more energizing to get up every day and go do than whatever it is that you selected.
And I think you really have to have a passion about it, and you have to have a reason to succeed. It isn't to be just something that you want to be, that you have to have a niche and a passion. You need those two things.
See, if people are not being fully expressive in their unique strengths, they lose self-esteem.
If you're passionate and driven and focused in what you do, if you're really good at it, people will take notice. That's basically it.
So some thoughts, some beliefs are limiting. You know, I'll never be good enough, I'll never be successful, I'll never be rich, I'll never have a good relationship, I'm too ugly, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not thin enough, etc. Remember, these thoughts don't belong to you. So you have to, whenever you have these thoughts, you should ask yourself, is it true? How am I so sure if this is true? Is this thought limiting me? How could I go beyond this limitation?
I honestly believe that if you're focused and passionate and driven, you can achieve anything you want to achieve in life.
I think it's really to be true to yourself and listen as much as one is able to other people whose opinions you respect and look up to, but in the end it has to come from you, and you can't really worry too much by looking to the left or to the right about what
The limitations exist only in our minds, and if you start using imagination, then your possibilities become limitless.
And therefore, you have no desire to escape. But if you escaped, you would find the true mind, you would find the true self, you would find who you really are, and you would be free.
I think it's really important to be very specific and very clear in what you expect, and then to delegate.
When you have enough success that what you need to do is pedal fast, that's good. A lot of people try to pedal fast before they have anything that's worth pedaling, and a lot of other people never pedal fast. So it's kind of a life lesson. Get a good idea, and then work like hell to make it popular.
Stress is not because you work too hard. Stress is not because you're not getting what you want. Stress is actually because you're giving up something and working for something else. That's what causes stress. That's what causes unhappiness. When you're actually working for something that you know is not making you happy is what causes unhappiness. All our work, all our lives, all our relationships, it's amazing how much people continue to be in that sphere even when they know they're not happy.
You better stay on top of yourself and really measure. Unless people measure themselves, you don't get any better. You cannot succeed.
Why are you crying? Because that's a turkey. And you don't want to eat animals anymore. So, what do you have to tell Mommy you want to be?
I don't know.
Say, a vegetarian.
What's a vegetarian do?
You don't eat any animals.
I don't
They just eat vegetables.
I don't like when people eat apples. I just don't want them to chopped up.
You don't want them to be chopped up? But they taste very good.
But I don't want to kill horses.
You don't eat horses. You only eat turkeys.
Why?
And chicken. And pigs. And cows.
Pigs are nice. And chickens are nice. And cows are nice.
So we shouldn't eat them, should we not?
No, we're chopping them all up.
Farmers.
Why?
It's their job. It's how they make a living. It's how they make money.
Well, I don't like when farmers chop people up.
Don't chop people up.
I don't like when they chop animal people up.
Animals.
Animals are very nice.
So you're not going to eat animals anymore, are you?
And I don't want to keep them chopping. I just have to keep chopping them up till we know what happens.
They'll all be gone, will they? Okay, we'll ask Mommy would she have to be a vegetarian, will we? Okay, it's alright.
Why have them get chopped up?
Because they taste good and they have protein and they're good for you.